Well, hello there, my lovely friends. My name is Rue. How do you do? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a little live chat and trigger video because I want to talk to you guys. So I grabbed a random assortment of just like stuff to dab on. And I'm just gonna go through my triggers and talk to you about my life because you guys are just such good listeners. Because you can't talk back to me. So, I haven't filmed in at least 2 weeks, maybe 2.5, 3. And this is like the first day where I'm like back in my sort of normal routine. And it's been a wild few weeks, I guess. And the past 2 days I've been like really like, I think it just all kind of exploded out of me, like, if that makes sense. Just sort of built up and then kind of came to like a boiling point, you know. So, you know, that happens. But it's like, what is today? Today's January 11th. I don't know when I'll post this video, but sometime in January, soon. Because otherwise it's a bit silly and it would be like not recent, out of date, whatever. Get it together, Rue. Focus. Okay. So like, obviously the holidays happened. I celebrate Christmas. So if you watched my autism holiday video, you may recall that the holidays are difficult. And boy, they were very difficult. And not for like any particular reason, just because they are. It was just like so many social events, obligations, and just it's so difficult for me. And it just like normally I wouldn't do all of this. Like, I would respect my boundaries, but like for Christmas it's like you have to, you know. And I know you don't have to, but I feel like I have to. So I sort of just push through it and deal with the aftermath and try to reset afterwards. But it felt like exceptionally difficult this year. I just like after Christmas, the weekend where it was like Christmas, like I literally felt physically hungover, like physically ill from, I guess, all the stress. I don't know. And it doesn't matter if it was like it went well or like, you know, you didn't do anything stupid or whatever. It's just like after these events I feel horrible. Like there's no way around it. I just do. And it takes me a day or two to get over that, and then I have to like rebuild my energy, and like it's just the way it is. So we had that, and then on New Year's Eve we had a Christmas with my partner's parents because they had I don't want to say the word, the disease, you know, that happened in 2020, because I feel like YouTube is weird about that. But so they had that on Christmas, so we had a delayed event with them on New Year's. So it was like we had like 3 different social things for Christmas, and it was just a lot. And then the week after that, my fiance acquired the disease. And it was not from his parents, it was from work. Just to be clear, they did not have it then. But it was going around his work, so he tested positive. So we quarantined. Can I say that word? Oh god. But anyways, so that was last week. I stayed inside, which is very difficult for me. And my routines were severely disrupted. He was working from home, so I couldn't, film. I couldn't do anything that was my normal things. So I was spending a lot of time laying around and looking at screens and all the things that are very bad for me. So I did surprisingly well though, considering. I got through it. I never tested positive for the disease. So I don't know if my immunity is just good, but I was definitely exposed. I need to switch. I have this water globe thing. It's not a globe, it's I don't know what this is. What was I saying? Anyways, so the past week has been quite difficult, but I got through it. That's nice. And also, if you watch my videos, maybe you're also aware that I have some health problems going on since July. And it's sort of I don't have any answers for it, and that is quite difficult sometimes, especially when I'm experiencing symptoms and they're scary to me. Just because I have a very good idea of what's happening. I just don't have proof, if that makes sense. And I don't want to get into the details, but there's just I don't know, it kind of comes and goes, and so I was having a certain symptom over the weekend and recently, and for since it started happening, I've been very nonchalant about it for the most part, and just sort of just being oh, this is what's happening now. Because I don't know, I feel I'm reacting to it isn't going to change anything, so I just sort of deal with it. But so this certain symptom was happening, and I started reading about it because I've had this symptom multiple times before since this stuff started happening, and I figured out the word for it, and it just freaked me out. I don't know why. I've had a lot of very weird symptoms, but this one it just clicked in my head this is scary. Let me switch. Got a bottle. So I kind of so there's a certain website that I post on a lot and sort of share more details of my life, and these people know me pretty well, and I've this is really the only place that I talk about my health stuff, and so they know my story, what's going on, blah blah blah. So I went to this website and vented and sort of freaked out about this symptom. And I just wanted to sort of release some I don't know, just get it out of my head, I guess. And I guess I was just not in a very good mental space. And there were two people, and I have I have no ill wishes against these people, and I know they mean well, so it's not I'm putting them on blast or something, but obviously they hadn't read my prior story, which like I understand. But they made comments sort of kind of like dismissing the serious feelings of like, this is very serious that I had, and like being like, oh, it could be you're dehydrated or stress or anxiety or whatever, like all of these things that in my mind I often tell myself like, oh, you're faking this, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's really hard when you're trying to get doctors to take you seriously and like trying to explain these really weird symptoms that don't even make a lot of sense to me, and like they're very weird symptoms, and I have trouble explaining things anyway, so like I don't know, it's if you have, I don't know, if you have a lot of experience with this sort of thing in the medical community, I think you probably understand where there's this like, doctors don't believe you and they want to dismiss your symptoms, and like there's a part of me that understands, like they want, like obviously you don't want it to be a bad thing and you want to explore all the options, but like I know those options aren't correct, and that feels like a waste of time because I know my body, I know my mind, like I know what's happening. You know, I've like talked to people with the same condition, and like the stories are very, very similar, you know. But it feels really, really crappy when you're trying to advocate for yourself and you feel like you have to fight the world to be like, this is what's happening, and they're like, oh, actually no, it could be this, maybe you should do this, and it's like, do you think I like haven't thought of that, like considered that, like analyzed that to like a pulp? Like I'm living in this, I'm thinking about it constantly. I know my own experience. Like I wouldn't be freaking out if it wasn't genuinely scary, you know? So, and like normally I don't think I would be so bothered, but I was just not in a good mental space, and I didn't have the energy to explain my story to these people and like why their comments were incorrect. So I ended up just deleting the post because I just couldn't deal with it. Because like I doubt myself enough. Like I am so mean to myself in my head. Even though I know my reality, it's like, well, maybe these other people know me better. Like maybe they're correct. Maybe I'm just crazy. Like, and that's probably a symptom of growing up undiagnosed autistic. It's like, oh, people are telling me my experience isn't actually correct. Maybe I'm crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I overanalyze stuff, like, to a very unhealthy amount. Let me switch triggers. So, like, the day ended, I had cried some, made some posts, deleted some posts. Like, I just didn't know how to process these comments. Like, and again, I have nothing against these people. They're wonderful. I'm sure they were trying to be helpful and like reassure me, but like I wasn't asking for advice. I wasn't asking for opinions, and it felt so crappy to once again be dismissed. So the next day I was like, which was yesterday, the next day I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a better day today. I'm gonna let go of all that stuff and it's gonna be fine. So I was like going about my day and like cleaning the house and sort of trying to get back my routines that had been disturbed, but it like just kept creeping back in and I kept feeling like crap about it. And I've been having, I don't know, this week my body is just like angry for some reason. Like my knee is acting up. I'm having issues with my knee. My GI system is like very angry, and like I'm having these weird other symptoms, and it just like, I guess it just feels very out of control. And like, I mean, when you have pain in your body, I think it just wears on you and tires you out anyways. So I took a test for the aforementioned disease yesterday morning because I was like, I feel crappy, like my body feels crappy, all these things are happening, surely it's because of this thing. And it was negative again. And I was like, how? It's like, it just, all of these symptoms that I don't have an answer for. I just got so frustrated because I just wanted an answer for I wanted something to blame it on, you know? And then it, like, I saw that it was negative and I was like, oh my God, like, my body just sucks. And I kind of just like lost it after that. Like, I made another post about all of this, like all of the stuff that was happening in my head. And I started thinking about like how I've been so chill about everything that's happening. And I don't think I'd fully processed how scary it was. Like, I was just living through it. I wasn't processing it. And I think yesterday it just kind of all like came out, you know? Like, I realized like, oh, that was really scary and I'm allowed to be like upset about it. And like, it is a lot to deal with. So I like let all these feelings out basically in this post, and I just like ugly cried. Like, I don't often like break down, I feel like, anymore. I don't know if I just have better coping mechanisms, or like I don't want to feel those emotions, so I just ignore them. But like, that was the most emotion that's come out of me in a long time, and I just sort of let it go. And like, I almost thought it was like gonna turn into a panic attack because I like my heart rate started going up and like I felt sort of like I was hyperventilating, but like thankfully that didn't happen. Like, I was just like it was something else. But then like after that I actually felt some relief. Like, I'd let out all of that built up frustration and energy. Like, I like posted a lot of this stuff that were like scary things that happened that I hadn't really talked about, and like just getting them out there in a written form felt good. And I like deleted the post. Like, it wasn't about the post, I just needed to get it out of my brain. But yeah, I think I just needed to like melt down. Like, I needed to just let it out. So yeah, I think that's been building for a while. It's been, I mean, I know it was spurred on by like my routines being disrupted for like the past few weeks, and like all of these other things that are stressing me out, and just like, I think it was necessary. So today, which is the day after this happened, I'm feeling a lot more regulated. Like, and I'm filming, which is like part of my normal routine. I cleaned the house yesterday, like deep cleaned it, which was very needed. And so, yeah, I'm feeling better now, and hopefully that can continue. And yeah, so the moral of the story is, please don't give medical advice to people you don't know. If they're not, like, if someone's not asking you for advice, do not give them advice, please. Like, normally I don't think it would have bothered me, but I was just in such a bad state that it just like tore me apart. Like, I just felt really, really bad, and I didn't have the energy to deal with it. And yeah, just don't do that. And like, you don't know what a person's going through. You don't know what their mental state is. Just don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sure, like, chronically ill people deal with this a lot, I'm sure. Like, oh, you should do yoga, it'll help. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're kidding me, right? Like, it's like all of these big, scary symptoms, like someone's minimizing them to, like, oh, you just need to do yoga. It's like they're blaming it on you. Like, oh, you just need to do more. Like, you just need, like, here's the solution to your problem that you never thought of. Like, I don't know, it just feels crappy. So, and again, if for some odd reason you're watching this video, this is not about you, it's about me. Like, I have zero ill wishes against you, and I know you meant well, but it just, like, I was just not in a good state to deal with it. So yeah, that's been my past few weeks. I am happy to be filming again and regaining some normalcy. Hopefully my body will start cooperating. I do feel a little better today, though. I had a random fever yesterday, and it went away, but, like, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for listening to my vent. Like, I just wanted to talk about it, and rambly videos are quite enjoyable to me, so you don't even have to listen to me, just enjoy the monotonous sound of my voice. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting my channel. If you deal with similar problems, feel free to rant in the comments. I'm happy to listen and commiserate. I think all of the stuff that's been happening just sort of, I needed to feel it and process it, and it just kind of came out yesterday, and it needed to come out. So yeah, don't be afraid to feel your feelings. Sometimes you have to, unfortunately. Okay, that's enough tapping and rambling today. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting my channel. You're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. I hope your holidays went better than mine. I will see you in my next video. Okie dokie.